Boom, bang, what's good, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another great edition of The Open Table. Tonight, we are talking our summer memories and what it means to us. Because it is the summertime, and we're in the dog days of summer. 4th of July just passed, so now we're just trying to get to August and the fall. But I'm not alone, I'm never alone. I'm here to talk with my main partner, the goose to my maverick, the not Bonnie and Clyde that we end up dying. The Thelma to my Louise.
I believe they also end up dying.
That's true. Goose does die as well. Damn, why can't any of the duos not die? The K to my J and Men in Black. There it is. Boom, chang. You know what it is. Let's go peruse the world about some aliens. But I am with the one, the only, the ever amazing Adelia Chamberlain. Adelia, how are you?
I'm good. How about the Frodo to my Sam?
Yeah, no, that's not happening. No, you know, potato. Yeah, you know what?
Ferris, I called you Frodo. I called me Sam.
Oh, well, why do I gotta be Frodo?
The hero who destroys the ring. Why do you gotta be Frodo?
Okay, fine. I'll accept it. I'll accept it. By the way, man, I don't trust them elves. Did I ever tell you my elf conspiracy theory about those movies?
No, I'd love to hear it. Though.
You've never, yeah, because I think, I find it very shady, right? Because we're just taking, the word of the elves, it's like the elves tell us the story, right? They just tell us the story about how the man fell in love with the ring, was intoxicated by the ring of power, right? You know what I mean? We're only getting the elven perspective. The elves were the ones who set in motion the group of 8 people, right? Like the elves told us to do all of this. Always the elves telling us to do this. No one fact checking the elves. No one said anything about the elves.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that this is the ring of power and it needs to be destroyed. So...
No, I know, but it's the elves, man. And you know what? It doesn't help that the elf is played by Hugo Weaving, who never plays a good person. So that kind of,
played a good person every once in a while.
Like who besides that elf? Allegedly that elf.
What do you mean allegedly that?
Because allegedly that elf is a good person, but I don't believe that elf is a good person.
Okay, I'm not going down this road with you anymore. You are no longer Frodo.
All right.
Hi, Rodney. How are you doing?
I'm Aragon.
Aragorn? You can be Aragorn.
Yeah. Who's Aragon? Was that the
Aragon
dragon?
Aragon is the dragon.
Oh, that's the dragon
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he was V for Vendetta.
There you go.
Yes.
He doesn't always play a bad person.
That's a good point. Sorry, man. When I see Hugo Weaving,
he doesn't always die.
He does. Sean Bean's always dead.
Not in everything.
Yeah, no, I know. But why does he always die in the big stuff? He's always dying in
I don't know. He must like that.
He must like being murdered.
Like he must like playing characters that die, so he doesn't have to continue being in franchises. Is what I meant.
Yeah. You know what? Good for him. Because I remember the first time I ever saw him die was in Goldfinger? No.
Goldeneye?
Goldeneye, yeah. Where he's like, Bond! And then he hits him, and then Bond's like, get off me! Then he like drops and like dies, and he gets like stabbed in the gut, like impaled. Because he fell onto like some rudders. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Never seen it.
You never seen Goldeneye?
I've never seen a James Bond film, Ferris.
Why?
I just never have.
You should watch the Daniel Craig ones. They're pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. How
about we bring on our surprise guest?
That's someone who won't die. In this franchise. The Mary / Pippin of the group. Yeah, I guess, right? Mary / Pippin. No? What? No. What? We're gonna. I don't know. Is she the elf? Who's the elf?
You're trying to make this into Lord of the Rings. Everybody now.
Okay.
So let's just bring Brandi on, okay?
She's not a dwarf.
She's not Gimli.
Yeah, no, she's definitely not a dwarf. Well, she could be. She's as aggressive as Gimli.
Okay.
Not as hairy though.
No, definitely.
She doesn't have a beard. She doesn't have a beard. It is the one. It is the only.
She just flipped you off backstage. That was perfect.
Brandi Dagwan of Fall River. How you doing,
Hi,
Brandi?
Brandi.
Hi, guys. There's.
I said you weren't Harry. I said you weren't Harry.
I mean,
so
I got.
can't be him.
I'm not like Justin. Like.
Yeah, exactly. See, you don't have a beard and all that jazz. You could be the elf. Who's the elf? What's the elf name? What's his name?
Legolas.
Legolas. Yeah, him. Who's he played by? Orlando Bloom.
You just
Oh,
said
Legolas.
Legless.
No, Legolas. It's Legolas. Well,
Legolas.
you are like 5'11", so you probably don't have that much leg. So
5'11".
5'11".
Sorry, 5'1". My
Thank
bad.
you for making me taller than what I am.
Yeah, I made you extremely tall. I made you taller than Adelia.
5'11". 5'2". Did Adelia get stuck?
Brandi.
Yeah, Brandi. Adelia, you back?
I hate my internet. I'm back.
You're back.
5'2".
5'2", yes.
You made me taller.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. So, guys, we're talking summer.
What's up, Hendo?
How you doing, Hendo? How you doing? How you living? All right, guys, we're talking about the summer, right? A lot of people talk about it. Main things, end of school, 4th of July, barbecue and ball games, So we all know this. Let me get y'all.
I love this, Rodney. Thank you.
I think my analogies worked. I think they worked to an extent.
Ferris, you watched Lord of the Rings on your phone over like a span of a week.
Yes.
I don't think you quite grasped it.
35-minute increments.
Yeah, I don't think you quite grasped it.
I was also on my break. 35-minute increments. Oh, what that lady? One of y'all is that lady that was a man, pretending to be a man, but she was a lady.
Eowyn.
Yes,
Brandi is Eowyn.
Yes.
For sure.
No, okay, she wasn't pretending to be a man. She was a soldier. She just covered her face. She was like Mulan.
She wanted to ride off to war with the guys.
Yeah.
King said no. Her uncle, the king, said no.
Exactly.
She hid amongst the soldiers and rode off to war anyways, and eventually killed one of the wickedest people there was.
You stabbed him right in the face. Right in the shadow.
Brandi's Eowyn.
I am a badass.
Yeah. In your Galadriel, very regal, shiny, because she's always shiny.
Shiny.
She's always shiny. Kate Blanchett's shiny in that movie. Isn't she always shiny, Adelia? Literally, there's always a light on her, and she's always shiny.
There's always an ethereal glow to her.
Exactly.
I wouldn't call it shiny.
It was shiny. A glow, shiny, angel.
Ferris, it's not very nice to say to a woman that she's shiny.
Wait, really? Wait, no one's ever told me this.
No, don't say that to a woman.
Okay. Can you explain to me why afterwards? Because I'm confused.
Yes, I'll explain to you why afterwards.
I need a chocolate now. First, you made me want to eat chocolate.
All right. It gets right into my thing is, summer. Kind of took it. I want to know your guys' first summer memory, guys. First time you remember it, like you're like, oh, this is summertime. Hit me, Brandi.
Oh. 4 years old, growing up around where I grew up. I grew up in the 80s. So we were let out. The older kids watched us. The parents weren't necessarily outside. Sometimes they were, sometimes they weren't. I remember my first summer, 4 years old, outside, running around in the grass, and I stepped on a bumblebee.
Ooh.
The stinger got stuck in my foot. I went into the house. My dad was coming home, and he saw me limping. He said, "Daddy, I stepped on something." He carried me upstairs. My mom tried to take the stinger out. She couldn't. I had to go to the doctor's. The doctor couldn't take the stinger out. I had to have surgery on my foot to remove the stinger. My first memory, my older sister gave me her Tigger to bring with me into surgery to get the stinger removed, and I just remember the thing coming onto my face, and then I don't remember anything after that. So that was my trip into summer, and why I wear shoes every time I walk in the grass now. Because of that memory at 4 years old. I will not walk in the grass barefoot. I don't know.
I have the same thing. I was a little bit older. I think I was about like 7. But it wasn't a stinger. It was running around, back in the day, right? Our neighbors were our cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fence
Mhm.
But in the fence, we kind of like pulled the fence apart to create a hole for it to like connect us. And we would be running back and forth. And then one day I ran out without shoes on and I was running to their house. And a bottle cut my foot. Cut my foot. And there's just blood gushing. And I'm hopping to my cousin's house with my foot. Like I'm just like hopping, like that's about how much. And like my hand is like bloody. And I stick my foot in the the sink and we wash the wound out, put some and then we put some alcohol on it, then we bandaged it up and then went to the hospital. Yeah.
I have a similar thing that happened to my sister. Not me, my sister.
Brandi was expecting us to say something more beautiful.
No, my sister.
We'll get to that, Brandi.
We'll get to the good parts. We'll get to the good
parts. That was my first memories, but my sister also that happened. We where we grew up there was a wooded area and there was a fence there, like a one of those wired fences, and they pulled the wire part out, so it was just the bar, and my sister was swinging on it. And I said, "Come on, Tiffany, let's go. We're going to go back to the house." It wasn't dark. It was just. There was only a few of us. Yeah, there was. So I said, "It's time to go." She was about 5, so I was about 7, and she was like, "One more time." She swung. There was a big, huge rock. She slipped, hit her head on the rock. So she has a like L-shaped scar on her forehead, in the middle of her forehead, because
is she
of that.
An L7 weenie?
L7 weenie.
Yes,
But I had to hold her head, and I did have the blood going down my arm. Yeah. So I have a similar story like that, but that was my sister bleeding, not me.
I have no stories like this, so you will not hear another story like this.
We have fun stories.
We do have some fun stories.
But he just said like my first summer that I really remember. I was 4 years old, and that's what happened.
Take us through Adelia Chamberlain, youngster, first memories. What are we doing?
My first summer memory, I was probably 4 or 5, and we had my dad's parents and my cousins on my dad's side visiting us, and they were playing volleyball in the backyard, and my dad was filming it on an old camcorder, like one of those gigantic camcorders that existed back in the early 80s.
Yeah, I remember those.
And I went over to him and asked him what he was doing, and he showed me, through the view thing and everything, and then he told me he was going to go play, and I could watch through the camcorder if I wanted to. Well, I turned the camera somehow, and we have a VHS tape somewhere in this house where it's just like the view of a tree, and you can hear me saying, "Where did all the people go?" Because I was still looking through the camera. And that's my earliest summer memory.
That's nice.
That's cute.
Did you tell him, "Hey, Pops, ain't nobody in this viewfinder. I'm confused here"?
No, they heard me eventually, and they came over and fixed the camera. But yeah, that was my earliest summer memory.
That was nice. That's nice.
It didn't involve a racetrack. There's lots of racetrack memories.
Mm-hmm. How about any family trips? Where did y'all go? Adelia, what about you? Like you said, racetracks. Was that like a big family trip in the summer all the time?
That was the entire summer. My dad,
racetracks like NASCAR. What are we doing?
Drag racing.
Drag racing. Oh wow.
Spent the majority of the weekends of my summer from the time I was about 6 till 16, 17 at Bandimere Speedway in Morrison, Colorado, which is right across the mountain from Red Rocks. So if it was a cool night and we were still out there, you could still hear the concerts going on from Red Rocks while you were at the track, which was pretty cool. We'd also go traveling drag racing. We'd go up to Wyoming, this tiny little town called Douglas, Wyoming. We'd stay at a hotel. I don't remember the name of the hotel, but I remember the marquee said, "Jesus is coming." And I remember when we got there, my dad asked, when he gets here, how many appearances is he doing a night? And the lady behind the counter was not amused.
Yeah, that's a good one, Richard.
Yeah, that was my dad. I remember being at Douglas and them having to constantly stop the racing on the track because jackalopes were running around at the end of the track.
Oh wow.
Yeah. If you don't know what a jackalope is, it's basically a large rabbit with antlers. And when you're doing drag racing, you're going a quarter of a mile at really high speed, so you can't hit anything or it's a real problem. And so they had to constantly stop the track, stop the racing to get the jackalopes to go away. We'd go to Topeka, Kansas. We went down to Arizona, racing all over the place. And that was basically my weekends and sometimes weeks as a child in the summer.
I have questions. So is a jackalope like a rabbit and antelope together?
Well, it's kind of the name wise anyways, but
okay. I thought it was like a mule. You know what I mean? It's like a horse and a donkey.
No, it I'll find a picture.
Okay.
You guys talk.
You talking about NHRA? Like the top league?
NHRA. Yeah. We weren't in the pros. We were, by the end of it, we were racing a class called Competition Eliminator, which was one of the highest ranking amateur classes. And it was a big deal.
Like your dad and your, or like did you?
My dad didn't drive the car. My dad's best friend drove the car.
Okay.
But I was the team statistician. I'd figure out the weather with a sling psychrometer, which is one of the weirdest instruments you can use to figure out the altitude and the humidity and all kinds of stuff. I'd figure out the qualifying order faster than the official qualifying order would come out. So all the other racers would come around being like, I wonder where we're qualified. And my dad would say, well, I know where we're qualified because Adelia figured it out. And they were like, no, she's got to be wrong. I was 12. And then they started to realize that I was always right. Nice. So they'd come around as soon as qualifying was done. Has Adelia figured out the qualifying order yet? So that became my job.
Like Billy Haywood in Little Big League.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Like this. 300 miles an hour on a straight line?
I mean, we didn't go that fast. I mean, the competition eliminator cars topped off about 220, 230, I want to say. But my sister eventually drove too. She drove first a junior dragster, which is the ones meant for kids. So it's like a lawnmower engine, a go-kart engine in a little tiny dragster chassis. She won a race. My sister's the only winner in the family. No one else won a race. My dad was a runner-up. My mom drove once. I never did it. I was supposed to co-drive the junior dragster with my sister, and I wouldn't do it because driving terrifies me, even back then. But I made myself useful in other ways with the statistician stuff.
Brandi,
what about you? Big memories traveling with your family, doing something?
Yeah, we would go. So my grandfather and my aunt, my mom's older sister, lived in New Jersey. So we were in Massachusetts. So we'd always go to visit my grandfather and my aunt. Yep, in Jersey. In Jersey, we'd go there. My grandfather owned a bar, so I get to go to a bar. So I was a little kid at the bar. We couldn't go behind the bar, but we could be in the bar. And my grandpa had a Pac-Man machine, pinball, and jukebox, and he would give me quarters. So I'd go over there, Grandpa Cap quarters, and Grandpa would give me quarters, and I'd play those. Pinball machine was my favorite. And the guys in the bar got pissed because I beat their high score. I was a little kid, and I beat their high score, and they were like, "Oh man!" So when I got done, they were going back trying to beat my score because I beat them, so now they had to beat me. But I beat them easily. They couldn't. There was no competition. But one of the things, we'd go to New York. My cousin Monique, his family lives in New York, and I remember one 4th of July we went there, and it was I was probably 8 or 9 or something like that. And I just remember seeing the fireworks up the Hudson. So that was pretty cool to see. And we were driving and people are shooting fireworks out their car at other cars. So I remember that. I was I had fun. It was cool seeing the city, but then it was scary because these people were shooting fireworks at other cars from their car. So it was a little, we'd go to the beach out there too. I just remember going with my aunt to her friend's house to the lake. There was a lake that we would go to at near my aunt's friend's house. We went to another cousin's house and they had a pool. So, and my I met these cousins. They had a daughter. Well, it was my mom's cousin, and they had a daughter. But she's when we met, I didn't realize we were so close in age. She's 5 days older than me. We were like literally the same age, and we became best friends. She's on my Facebook, but even though she still lives out in Jersey or whatever, I still talk to her on her Facebook sometimes. Yeah, and we'd go to their pool all the time and hang out. So we would travel there. And one summer, my best friend, who I've known since I was 4 years old, when we were in middle school, she moved to Virginia Beach. So I got to go to Virginia Beach. And that was like the farthest at that time I had traveled, because we would only go to like New Jersey, New York area. We stayed around that area. So going to Virginia Beach was pretty cool, and being out there by the ocean and being with my best friend, who I hadn't seen in a little bit because she moved away. I want to go visit again. I did love it out there, but we went to that beach there, and those waves were no joke, bro. My my friend's cousin Aaron had gotten into the water, and he was like in front of us, and then we looked and we're like, "Where's Aaron?" And he was like all the way down the other end. We're like, "How did he get down there?" Like it carried him like down the other end of the beach.
That's
like,
petrifying. That's like my worst nightmare. I can't swim. I can't swim,
no.
so that's not.
No, he could swim. Luckily, he could swim.
Yeah, no.
But he was just like, boom, and we're like, bro, you were right in front. How'd you get over there? Like, you were right in front of us, and you're all the way down the other end of the beach. And he was just having a good old time. But we're like, yo, Aaron, back this way, bro.
Stay where we can see you.
Yeah. We're like, where'd you go?
That's the rule with kids always playing outside. Stay where I can see you.
We were a little older. We were like upper teens area, so like
especially stay where I can see you.
Yeah,
especially. Hey, you and you're doing your drugs and your lewd.
No, it was fun.
I can see you.
And we went on the boardwalk afterwards, and then they went to some shops, and there was a wall that looked at the ocean, and I was just very peaceful to me. But then a hurricane came, and that was like, oh crap, we're stuck in a hurricane now.
I'll say this, man, as a New York Giants fan, we definitely know the horrors of hurricanes and fireworks. We definitely know that, Yeah. One of our players once blew off his fingers because of fireworks. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So I was gonna say, yo, okay, speaking of Jersey, I want yeah, how many diners are in Jersey? I heard there's like a bunch of diners in Jersey.
There's a lot of diners.
Like a lot.
I
heard it's like the diner capital. It's like the diner capital of the world.
There's a lot of diners. There's a lot of diners in New York. I'd go when we went to the city. Late at night. That's what we'd go. We'd go to a diner.
Like what? Like you just willing? Give me like some apple pie and some whipped cream and some coffee.
Yeah, we'd go to the 24-hour diners that were open there.
Some waffles.
Went to IHOP and
IHOP. What? You go to IHOP? Got like local diners nearby? How dare you?
We went to IHOP in Harlem. I was the only white girl in that place. That's the only white girl. Yep. In the middle of the night. Hey, everybody loved me though, because I'm Brandi. I was just like,
hey man, I heard, there's a Waffle House nearby.
Waffle House?
No, that's in Southern Maryland. My bad. Southern Maryland. I almost went to a Waffle House once when I was in Baltimore, Columbia. We thought about it.
I've never been to one.
But then we went to a barbecue instead. Shout out to Mike.
There was a Waffle House near Justin. That's the first time I went to the Waffle House.
Shout out to Waffle House. Someone wants to describe Copa America as has Waffle House energy, Adelia. Because there's always a fight.
Does. Yeah.
There's a fight during Waffle House.
What are your some memories?
I went to Six Flags. Space Mountain? No, not Space Mountain. Six Flags. Was it the one in LA? I don't know the name of it was.
Not in LA. It's out of LA.
No, it's near Anaheim. It's like in Anaheim. Yeah. It's like near Disneyland. I've never been to Disneyland, by the way.
It's not Big Mountain, is it? Something like that.
Is it Space Mountain? Is it Six Flags Space? No, it's
not Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain. Yeah. So we went to Six Flags Magic Mountain. I remember we drove there and we stopped off at a Wendy's. So like you know how like when you watch commercials on TV, you're like, oh, that's great, man. One day I'm gonna go there, and then like you never go there, and then one day like I remember watching the Wendy's commercials. I'm like the Frosties and the all the sandwiches. I was like, yo, man, let me get a Frosty. It's like I want a Frosty, so I got a Frosty. I got a Wendy's Frosty for the first time ever. I was about 8. I had been in America for 2 years.
They are great.
Yeah. So Frosty was pretty cool. And the Wendy's commercial was in Arabic, so it was kind of weird going to an American Wendy's. You know what I mean? So it was like, it's called a Frosty, right? Let me get a Frosty. And I was like, yes, there's a Frosty. He's like, thank you very much. So that's the first summer I've spent in America. I was a kid, so we went on all the kid rides. We have photos. I said, "What's up to Goofy?" Is it not Goofy? Not Goofy. Was it Goofy?
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Goofy would be at
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Yeah, so it was like Bugs and Daffy. No, Donald. No, Daffy. Is Daffy? Well, which duck
Daffy.
is
Daffy.
Daffy's the duck.
Daffy. Donald is the Disney duck.
Okay, good. So it's like Bugs, Daffy. All the Looney Tunes people.
Yeah.
So we said what's up to them. Rolled up on some superheroes. So I took a photo. There's a photo of like 7-year-old Ferris like standing next to Green Lantern and Superman somewhere. My mom has.
They had probably had the Superman ride, right?
They did. So to this day, I don't do roller coasters. I don't do roller coasters. I don't do those.
I don't either.
I'll do some. It depends on what it is. I do some. I have been on the Superman. We have a Six Flags here.
So the exit of Magic Mountain. So when you're exiting the Superman ride, you walk under it.
Yep.
so imagine 7-year-old Ferris we're walking out, and I'm walking, and out here it's like and I'm like, what was that? and then I look up, and then my brother's like, yeah, that's the Superman ride, and I'm like, yeah, nope, never again, nope, no. So because here's the thing, we were in line to do it.
Did you chicken out?
I was like, get me the hell out of here, man. I walked stage left, Adelia. I walked stage left. I was like, no. I'm seven, and I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And then I get halfway through. I'm in the queue. So like you enter his, what is it, the Fortress of Solitude. So you walk in through his Fortress of Solitude. The lights get dimmer, right? And I'm right there. And everyone's like, yelling. It's like 7-year-old me with all the adult cousins, because you know what? Because I'm a crazy person, and we inch, and I say, nope. Stage left. Where's the exit? And I ran.
I have a Superman ride thing. We went as a teenager. We went with like my church or whatever. A bunch of us went, and my friend Angela was wearing like these short things. She had her wallet. She put in the pocket in the front, and we all went on the ride. And as we're on the ride, her wallet just flies by my head.
Oh,
Past all of us in the thing, and we're like, what was that? And then afterwards she goes, I lost my wallet. I was like, oh, that's what flew by my head and almost hit me. That's your wallet. She reached out and grabbed it. I'm like, I didn't know what it was, so I wasn't gonna grab it.
Yeah.
I was on the Superman ride. Her wallet was lost forever.
Yeah, so apparently we like going to Six Flags during the summer. I don't know why, but we apparently like doing it. So we went to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, which is close by here. It's like right there, Vallejo. It's Vallejo. And so we all go down, right? It's like the reason I remember this trip so vividly is that my cousin had just gotten married, like literally like 3 weeks beforehand, and he was like, either he was coming back from his honeymoon or he's about to go on his honeymoon. I didn't know, but for some apparent reason, we went to Discovery Kingdom with him and his new wife. It was kind of weird. It threw me off. Nowadays I love them. They're a wonderful couple. They're one of my favorite couples of all time, to be real. Shout out to my cousin Gabus and his wife is Jen. Lovely people, love them. The reason I remember is that it was always kind of weird. I was like, why are you guys here? Like, shouldn't y'all be like out of the country, like a honeymoon? I was always weirded me out because I didn't know how long honeymoons lasted. You know what I mean? I'm like 11. All right, give me a break here, okay? And we go down, and there's this ride where you know the ride where you sitting on the chair and it spins you around like kind of like a merry-go-round. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But this one you got put up in the sky, and you were spinning in the sky. Did you have to stand up in it? No, you sat down in a chair, and it's connected by like a chain link connected to the top, and you're just sitting in it like and then like it gets faster and faster and faster, and then you start like that. And my cousin was like, "Let's go do it," and I'm like, "Well, you better go do something else. I'd rather do drugs than that. What is wrong with you?" And it was just like, I was like, "No, absolutely not. That's not happening."
You would have probably pooped yourself had you gone on the rides that we did in the 80s.
No, yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I don't. I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't do that, bro.
No. There was
like-
one that was like a spaceship. We went in and you stood flat against the wall. No seatbelts, no nothing. And you leaned against the wall and the wall moved. Like, it went so fast, you stuck to it, and then these things would just slide up the wall. And like you'd hear them sliding up. No, nothing. You were not seatbelted in or anything, and it just spun you around. These kids would be they would flip themselves down. They do it purposely to flip themselves upside down too. So you'd be half upside down, people you'd look, and the next person's feet are near your head because they flip themselves.
Let me tell you why, right? So I'll ask you guys a question as well, because we're also an entertainment channel. Like, let's talk about like movies and TVs you would watch during the summer. So every summer to this day, I watch. It's my cousin, by the way. He needed the Amazon code. Hey, hope you're enjoying Turkey, Habibi. Yeah, he's in Turkey right now, so he's enjoying. He's having fun.
The one that just said thank you.
yeah. He's in Turkey right now. Hey man, thank you. Hey man, hit that like button, baby. Hit that subscribe, by the way, man. Share it with the family, man. I know you in a house with you. I know who you with, like three other cousins and your wife. Tell them all to subscribe. But sorry, always be selling, by the way. Always be selling.
Always.
So I watch every year to this day from the day I found out this movie existed till now. Every year I watch The Sandlot. I literally watched it last week.
This is what you wanted to say. You gotta stand up.
Stand up.
Sandlot, Sandlot, guys, come on, let's be real.
He wanted to show off that shirt so bad.
I want to show off so bad. Every year I would watch it. There's a scene where the kids are chewing tobacco, and they're on a ride that takes them going on in the circle. It's not crazy, but I'm a kid watching this, and I'm watching them get sick. And they all just like throw up over themselves. And I'm like, that will never be me. That will never be me. And then one day,
it was you.
It was at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I was a kid, I was on the little kiddie ride. You know, the one that goes up and down. I hop off of it, man. I'm vomiting in the bucket, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never again, never doing this again. Absolutely not. This is horrible. This is absolutely.
I can't do spinny rides no more. I'll throw up now. Back then, I could do them.
I can't. No, man. Roller coasters, can't do it, man. I can't do none of that, man. I don't understand how people do them. I don't understand it, man.
My niece did the zipper recently.
What?
The zipper. I don't know if you know what the zipper is. What the hell does that mean? Okay, so you're sitting in this
I don't want to know.
And it flips up. It spins, but the whole cage spins with it as it's going around and around the cage.
No.
She's 10. She went on it at the fair. Not even it's a fair, a county fair. So I was like, your mother let you go on that.
Can't do it.
And her shoe came off. But she's in the cage, so she got it after because it's still in the same caged in.
Can't do it.
It
I would go more on the water rides.
Yeah, I do.
I've never been to a Six Flags. There's one in Denver now, but it's Six Flags Elitch Gardens. I went to Elitch Gardens before it was Six Flags at its old location. We talked my dad into going on Father's Day. I'm sure he was thrilled.
He's been happy.
But that was the only time I've been to an amusement park other than going to the amusement park behind Circus on spring break when I was like 14.
Circus?
Yeah, in Vegas.
Oh. Never been to Vegas.
It's an experience.
I heard about it. I watched a lot of TV
been there as an
Vegas.
adult. I'd probably enjoy it more as an adult, but as a teenager, it was just like I can't do much of anything here.
We'd have amusement. We would have this thing in the summertime. It was called Fall River Celebrates America. It was like a big feast and fest, and we'd have the amusement park rides, and it would be at our waterfront. every year. It was so fun to go to. We'd see all of our friends. They'd have concerts. One concert, I met Rob Bass because he was there. So, like, you'd meet.
What do I know that name?
He's a, what's that song? It Takes Two. It takes
with
two.
DJ P Rock.
Yeah. I met them. They were there. Like they were on the stage, and then afterwards we were walking. They were walking behind us, and like I got their autograph and everything. I think it might be somewhere in my room, but I do have his. I have his autograph. But
DJ Easy Rock, like, Easy Rock, not
DJ
P Rock. P Rock is the is with CL Smooth. I apologize.
Mm-hmm. So, there would be some celebs that would come. But Rob Bass was the one I met, and I was like, I showed my sister because my sister was. Who was older than me was like, you suck, and I was like, yeah, because it was your favorite. we had a lot of. I did go to Six Flags too. I've been to 3 of them. I've been to Six Flags New England. I've been to the one in New Jersey. I think that's Great Adventure, and the one in Georgia.
You know my favorite thing about Six Flags?
What?
Commercial with the old dude dancing.
I don't
know.
See these commercials.
You didn't see these? What do you mean you didn't see these commercials?
No.
They were national commercials.
They might have been. I've never seen it.
So apparently there's been like 4 versions of that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of them, the original one passed away, then like the other 2 got fired, and like now they're on like the 4th one, I think. I don't know if it's still the same person.
It's not a real old man. It's someone dressed up as an old man. It's not a real old man.
Yeah. Well, the first one was kind of an old man. And then, they kept the same aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a real person. And then they kept the same aesthetic. It's kind of weird.
We got to show Adelia these commercials later on.
Yeah. But no, let's talk about, guys. We're an entertainment channel. We talk about movies and TV. Let's get in that vein in the summer, right? Well, are there any movies that, were summer staples and you needed to watch and like watch them, because like I said, with me, it's, The Sandlot, and every Independence Day, I watch Independence Day. You know what I mean? Like any other movies that kind of, were like, oh guys, it's summer, put on this movie, man. And you felt like, you could taste the summer or watch the summer or feel the summer through that media. Adelia?
I don't really have a movie for that, but I used to watch Nick at Night.
Oh.
When I was a teenager, and they would do things like have a show every day. So it would be like Monkey Monday and all these other things. I just remember one summer sitting there watching the Monkees every Monday. I watched the entire series.
Oh, the band.
The band, yeah.
Hey, cool. For me, I was
they
like,
had a TV show.
I know.
Formed for a TV show.
No, yeah, I know. I thought for a minute I was thinking like actual monkeys. I was like, you're watching monkeys?
No,
like, what's going on?
The band. The band.
Yes, the band, the Monkees, that was created on the TV show.
Yes. They had the TV show. It was Monkey Monday on Nick at Night, and so you would watch. Just every Monday, they'd show like 3 or 4, however many episodes of the Monkees until the series was completely done. And then I think it switched to Green Acres, which I wasn't as much of a fan of. But it's how I watched like the Munsters, and it's how I watched the Addams Family and all those classic TV shows. Is I would watch them on Nick at Night in the summer.
Yeah, my Nick at Night wasn't them. It was, let me watch 18 million episodes straight of Friends, and you're like, okay, can you put something on?
Yeah,
not Friends.
I wish that Nick at Night still existed in the form that it did when I was a teenager, because I'd watch it all the time.
Yeah, because when I grew up, it was you had to watch 3 episodes of Friends before you watched the next show, right? And then there's always that special day where like Friends wasn't on, but then they would put on like Family Matters and Full House. So I'm like, okay, thank God I don't have to watch Rachel and Ross yell at each other for a day. You know what I mean? Good. But then like the next day, it's 4 episodes of Friends, and then follow that by 3 episodes of George Lopez, which I had to wait to watch George Lopez. But the problem is George Lopez was at 9, and I had to convince my mom to let me watch 1 episode of George Lopez because my bedtime was 9:30. So I'd have to lie to her somehow, even though it never worked. She just let me watch George Lopez. I thought I got away with a lot of stuff because I thought I was sneaky, but my mom really just like let me, and I'm like, damn, she really, yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, shout out to Friends.
I'm trying to remember the movie I used to watch as a kid. I'm drawing a blank on the name, but it was with Christina Ricci and Thora Birch and Gabby Hoffman and
Now and then.
Now and Then. There we go.
Oh.
Thank you. I knew you knew it.
I watched that constantly.
Yeah,
too.
that was one of my favorite. It was drawing a blank on. I was like, "What in the name of that movie? You know who that is?" I know it. That's why I look.
Yeah.
I was like, "I know Adelia knows it." I watched that movie a lot, and then when I got older, it was Can't Hardly Wait. I loved Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh yeah.
I love that. That was definitely a movie I've watched.
One of my favorite summer movie experiences was actually the anniversary was just a couple days ago. Was seeing X-Men, the original X-Men, in the theaters for the first
2000?
time in 2000. It was the summer after I graduated high school. It was a lot of fun, and I'd waited to see like live action X-Men for a long time because I'd watched the animated series and. They were really my gateway drug into superheroes. And so seeing X-Men on the big screen, and that movie, I think it still holds up. I mean, it's kind of cheesy at parts, but that's the way things go as they age. But I just absolutely loved that experience of going with my best friend from high school at the time to go see X-Men by ourselves. We got horrible seats because everybody was going to see X-Men that weekend. So we were in like the second row, and I was sitting like this trying to watch it. But it's one of my favorite superhero movies because the experience of watching it in that summer was so cool.
Did you go to the movies a lot in the summer with friends and stuff? Like our thing was hanging at the mall too. We'd go to the mall, we'd go to the movies and hang with our friends. One time my friends, I don't know why I trusted them, but I trusted them. They're like, we'll get the tickets. You go get the popcorn, candy, stuff like that. I'll get the tickets. I'm like, okay. I specifically said I did not want to go see one movie. And those bitches, I will call them bitches, got the tickets for that one movie. So I'm thinking we're going to another movie. They gave the tickets to the guy. They're like, oh, for the three of us, the guy, teared it up, gave it to her. We go through, I'm going this way. They're like, where you going? This way, Brandi. And I'm like, I look up and I'm like, you suckers. I was like, I'm going to kill you.
The movie was
it was 13 Ghosts.
I don't remember that movie, no.
Oh, I remember that movie. I don't like anything like kind of scary or like, and I'd seen this commercial and I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I will not go. No, they wanted to see it. So they tricked me and said, Brandi, go get the candy and the popcorn. I'll take care of the tickets. And I don't even remember the other movie we were going to go see. And they got tickets for that. And I'm sitting in the back and I always had to get like the top rows. Like that was our thing. We get it in there. We get in the top rows. Yeah. And then I was like, I'm going to kill you both. And they're laughing. And I just remember this last scene, one of the scenes, and it was something spinning like, and if you fell into it, it's going to chop your body up. And I'm like, bro, I'm going to hurt you too.
Yeah, I almost had nightmares about.
That's a memory.
About the movie Ghost Patrol. Yeah, that movie freaked me out as a kid. Yeah. I don't know if
I've seen that one.
It was like it was a Disney Channel movie.
Oh, it was a Disney movie.
But so like now,
Ghost Tony Shalhoub. I know you know who that is.
Tony Shalhoub. Monk. Love Monk.
Yes, Tony Shalhoub was in it.
Nice.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm. I used to thought his name was Tony Shalhoub. That's Tony Shalhoub. Was wrong. Like, my bad. Sorry to you. But yeah, no, we didn't go to movies a lot. I love movies. I try to watch as much movies as possible. I tried to watch Horizon, but it's not airing near me anymore, which I'm kind of sad. My vivid memory of watching a movie. So we have a lot of extended family. We have a bunch of cousins. Like my dad has 5 other siblings. He's the youngest of the 6. Hold on, tell me, is it 1, 2? No, he has 4 other siblings. He's the 5th one, and all of them have like a minimum of like 5 kids. All of them do. So growing up, like our oldest uncle, he had like 7 kids. Yeah, like 4 boys and a girl. No, it's like 5 boys and a girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 5 boys and a girl. So we grew up with them, and then other family, we grew up together. So we used to roughhouse and play around. But specifically, my cousin in the chat right there, Muhammad, specifically with him. So we would hang out with his family a lot because we were all like similar ages. Me and him, like we're like a year apart. One day in the summer, we're all sitting in his living room, and I say, people were like, let's all watch a movie. And someone brought up Lilo and Stitch, right? And I said, hey guys, let's watch Leroy and Stitch. Right? And they all look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? There's no such thing as Leroy and Stitch. It's Lilo and Stitch. And I was like, no, there's a thing called Leroy and Stitch. He's red. And they're like, no, you're an idiot. And it's me fighting against like 10 people talking about like, no, Leroy and Stitch exists. So then we're like, all right, fine, let's look it up. So we look up Leroy and Stitch in like the guide. Like that, it was back then, the Disney
TV
apps,
guide.
the TV, it wasn't a TV guide, like the apps were starting off, like there was a smart TV. It was like I don't know. It was like, I don't know. So we looked up Leroy and Stitch, and only Lilo and Stitch Stitch got a glitch showed up. And I'm like, no, there's Leroy and Stitch. And they're like, no, Ferris, there's no such thing as Leroy and Stitch. It never existed. All right. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm pretty sure I know Leroy and Stitch exists. I remember watching the evil red version of Stitch called Leroy. Again, don't know why they called him Leroy, but his name is Leroy.
Are you sure you didn't dream this, Ferris?
No, Leroy and Stitch exists, Adelia. Leroy and Stitch exist. You look it up right now. It's on Disney Channel. Because here's the thing, Adelia. When Disney Plus came out, I looked up Leroy and Stitch on Disney Channel, and it popped up. And guess what I did, Adelia? Guess what I did? I shoved it all in their faces. I was like, I didn't go crazy.
You are correct. It is a 2006 animated television movie.
Exactly. I was like, I knew it.
It was on the Disney Channel and Toon Disney.
Exactly.
Never heard of it.
I was gonna say, what kind of TV was he watching? Was that not real? Was it an adult movie?
No, it wasn't.
Was Leroy and Stitch an adult movie first?
No, it wasn't. But the vindication, and they all looked at me like, you held on to this. You goddamn right, I held on to this. I knew what I was watching. I love Lilo and Stitch. Shout to Leroy and Stitch though. Hey, suck it, Muhammad. Sorry. Right.
We used to go to I don't know if you all had drive.
He's probably not watching us anymore. He's in Turkey doing something more beautiful, like walking around Istanbul or something. He's like,
Did you ever get to go to a drive-in theater?
French with a good point. Ferris did earlier say he watched Disney Channel movies, not Disney movies.
Exactly. I'm a big DCOM guy. I have an idea for a podcast, but I'm not gonna do that. But
don't say it out loud. No,
I won't say it out loud.
Did you guys ever watch movies at a drive-in theater?
No,
we didn't have a drive-in anywhere near us.
No,
we do. We have one in it's in Rhode Island, and it's not because I'm right near the border of Rhode Island, and we'd go there. And one time I went to Maine with my friend. We went camping. I went with her family. And we went to a drive-in theater. And we had the lawn chairs, the folding ones that would fold. So we were sitting in the chairs watching the movie, and she's sitting in there, and a boy walked by, and she went like this. And to look real hard, the front of her thing collapsed. And then she went backwards, the back collapsed, and she's like, and the kid turned around. I was dying. I had to go to the bathroom. I was laughing so hard. I was like, you look too hard, and your chair collapsed on you. And so we had so much fun at the drive-in. We had one here. We'd go all the time with my cousins and stuff. Go and get they had like a concession stand, and there'd be like three different ones, and you'd put your radio station on. Depending on where you parked, you can see all three of them. Switch the channel. Like you didn't want to watch the two movies that were on that screen. You wanted one from that screen and one from that screen because you couldn't move. Once you were in one spot, you were staying in that spot for that screen. But we could switch the channel because we knew what the channels were, and we're like, just turn our chairs around and watch the other screen. So we didn't want to watch the two from there. We watched one from the other side. We used to go there. It was fun. I did love, but that time when she collapsed her chair, I was dying. I was dying laughing, and the kid was laughing at her, and I was like, "Isn't that embarrassing for you?" We were teenagers. It was hilarious.
Drive-ins came back during the pandemic. You know, a lot of drive-ins started getting business back up again because people were like, "Let's," so the problem with drive-ins.
It's the only way to go see a movie.
Yeah. It's always been the problem with drive-ins has always been the audio. How do we transmit audio clearly into people's cars? You know what I mean? That's always been.
Well, they have their own stations, so they have their own channels.
Now they do.
No, they always did.
Always did.
Yeah,
I thought you would have to get one of them.
Way back back.
That was me watching Grease, and Grease was based in the 60s. I apologize.
No, that was a little as you turn. They did have the speakers, but you would turn your dial to the radio station that they had, and that's where we heard it. So some people would have a boom box, like with the batteries in it and stuff. And if you didn't want to stay in your car, that's how we're sitting outside.
Yeah.
Or you would just blast your radio so you could hear it on outside. But a lot of us had the boom boxes, and we turn it to that channel so we could sit outside of the car and listen to it as we're watching.
Nowadays, a lot of people were saying drive-ins can come back if they do the the Bluetooth, because now a lot of cars have Bluetooth now. I mean, people go to a drive-in, hook your Bluetooth up to the drive-in thing, and it's a channel you put in, because Justin has one near. Actually, I wanted to go to the drive-in when we were there, but they wasn't playing any good movies that we wanted to see. But I told him, I said, next time I come, I want to go to the drive-in. And he's like, well, it's really hot here. I'm like, we'll just put the air conditioner on in your car. But I do love drive-ins. It's something nostalgic for me.
Yeah, French says he saw Ghostbusters for the first time at a drive-in. He was 4 and fell asleep before the Marshmallow Man.
I have a fun story about Ghostbusters.
Okay.
All right. It was middle school, and it was movie night, and everyone we had a period, and we all went to the auditorium to watch a movie. It was kind of like the reward for us. So we sat down, we watched it, and they're like, "Oh, guys, here's Ghostbusters," and we watched Ghostbusters, right? And we watched it from start to finish, and then I realized something. We were watching Ghostbusters 2, and I'd never seen Ghostbusters 1. So I watched number 2 before I watched 1. So I was like, "Oh, that's fine. This movie's fine." Ghostbusters 1 was cool. I thought it was Ghostbusters 1, but I was watching 2.
Good job.
Yeah. I'm not saying it was a good story.
Some of Ghostbusters, when you're a little kid, could be a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I do know Sigourney Weaver scared the crap out of me.
Doesn't she get possessed and elevated and twirled around?
Yeah.
And, a demon tries to have sex with her?
Yeah.
I am pretty sure I've never seen Ghostbusters all the way through.
Oh.
I've actually never watched it. I've only seen clips on the internet. I've never seen Ghostbusters ever. There's a lot of movies I haven't watched. I should really bring back first time watches with Ferris. I really should.
You should. You have one you have to do, by the way.
Yeah. We should. You know what? We should do that next week.
Okay.
What? Yeah.
You heard it here first. 27 dresses watch along with Ferris. First time watches with Ferris. If you want to be part of the watch along, join our Patreon. Patreon.com/LGR_network.
Tuesday 7:30.
Oh, one thing.
That's up to you.
Yeah. One other summer thing, I told this to Adelia earlier, and when we were younger, going to the amusement parks, because we had other amusement parks besides Six Flags. We had Rocky Point and Lincoln Park here.
Mm-hmm.
But you could get in. It wasn't by individual, pay. It was per carload.
Oh wow!
We had a van. And my mom, we're like, can we take off? We could, because back then in the 80s, no seatbelts. No seatbelts. We'd load up the van, stuff all of our friends. Your friend wants to come. Your friend wants to come. Your friend, come on! Everybody in the van paid one price for the load. and the whole neighborhood was at these amusement parks with us. And we had a van, so it was a pretty big van.
Yeah, man. I remember once we had we went to an event during the summer. It was like a religious, like it was done by the mosque. How how the churches, they do amusement parks in the summer. It's kind of like that, but but it was with Muslims. And it was bouncy castles and food and barbecue, and we all had to go home. We're like, how do we all go home? We don't have enough seats. Me and two of my cousins, we rolled up in the trunk, and we laid in the trunk. We're like this in the trunk. I was like, the cousin in the chat, Muhammad, he was the one that's laying next to me. And we would have to be like, we couldn't bring our head up because we were like in like the cops. We don't want the cops to see us. So we would be like this, like, hey man, did you like get an extra hot dog? Because I'm kind of hungry right now. It's like, yeah, I got one. It's in the bag. It's cool. We eat it at the crib. It's like, yeah, we eat it at the crib. Got it. Okay, cool. Y'all got Dr. Pepper at the house? I think so. Okay, cool. And we're like laying in the trunk like this.
You were laying with your arms like that too, like you were dead.
Yeah, because we couldn't spread out, so we had to like reduce space. So we were reducing space, like cool, man, that's nice. And then we know
like that stuff, but back then we were in station wagons in the back.
Exactly. So like you're reducing space.
No, then, we didn't have to lay down.
Yeah, no. We me and my cousin got to know each other closely. And I was like, I no longer want to be this close to you.
The back of station wagons. We were allowed to be there.
Oh yeah, well, let's. Like,
on the wheel.
So I'm talking about the summers in America, right? So like when I was in the motherland, shout to Yemen, we pickup trucks. We were just sitting down in pickup trucks in the back, like it's like 4 or 5 people on pickup trucks, and we just like driving in the dirt and stuff like that. I remember one of my earliest memories was shout to the earliest memories. So I was 5, marbles, man. And we would build elaborate tracks for marbles. We would dig like holes, like you got to get them over the hole, and like tracks and stuff like that. I remember,
down the
hill. Yeah. We would build tracks in the dirt. I remember once we once go get ice cream in the shape of a phone. It was like an ice cream phone. It was like shaved ice phone. It was like, so like the plastic was a phone, like like the old school phones with the antenna, but in it was the ice cream. So it was shaped like a phone. So like what we would do was usually you would you would rip the antenna off and like eat it. Me, I bit the antenna off. I was like like going like full Wolverine on this plastic phone for some ice cream, right? And then we would go down in these woods, right? We walked through the woods because we lived in a village. So we walked through it, and then like, it's like this, like just like leaves and trees, like. But what it felt like, like you're in a movie, and like like the movie The Road to El Dorado.
Yep.
And those 2 dudes are going through the woods, and they're smacking the woods around, and they finally they open up the woods, and it's like El Dorado. It's like same thing with us. We're going through the woods and we're smacking stuff around, and then we get away from the woods, and it's just a bunch of kids playing soccer. It's like a bunch of kids playing soccer. They created a goal using 2 giant like sticks, and they smashed sticks into the ground, and they created a goal. It's like, this is the goal. Just kick it in here, and then there's like a massive amount of kids sitting on like rocks, like there were stands, and we played pickup soccer. We played pickup soccer. And then we would play pickup soccer in the living room at our house. It got a little aggressive. Sliced my brother's head wide open. Unfortunately, once. No, he slashed my head wide open. I was the one bleeding. I had my head smashed in a couple of times growing up. Once playing soccer, and another time trying to learn how to ride a bike. That's why I don't know how to ride a bike. It's fine.
You still don't know how to ride a bike?
No, I'm more of a scooter guy myself.
I taught myself at 4.
Well, you know what, Brandi? You can shut up. Okay, all right. I tried to teach myself at 8. It didn't work.
But I understand the pickup games and stuff. We used to do that stuff around the neighborhood. Anything we could find. So the boys, so they would play the street hockey. So they would play on the skates and stuff, but sometimes without the roller skates. But they built their own with wood and stuff, their own net, and we played they played in the street. And back then, if the cars would come, you'd be like, car. Then,
you yell out car.
Take it out the way, and they're like, okay, game back on, and it goes, and they would be in front of my house because that's where the main street was. So I'd be in my window just watching them all play. We built our own basketball hoop with like a milk crate, cut the bottom out of it, and put it on the telephone pole.
You cut it up.
Yep. And one of the fathers made the foul lines and stuff, like spray painted the street.
Exactly. We did that in our parking lot, in our like the cousin that of the house with the fence. We created a hoop with a milk crate during his driveway. We didn't actually buy a hoop.
We did that. So we did that, and we had clothesline poles, and that was our pole for playing volleyball. That was our net. So you made do with what you had. Back then, we always went out and we played and we did stuff. Kickball, baseball, volleyball, street hockey, roller skating, make your own devices to ride on. You know, we did it all. We did it all.
You know what, guys?
It was fun time.
And we talked about it all. We've come down to the end. Gone an hour. First of all, I'd like to thank Brandi for being our guest tonight. Brandi, thank you so much
for having me
relive my childhood traumas of roller coasters and knowing that my head wide open more than once. and listening to my own vindication of knowing Leroy and Stitch existed. Right? To this day, they don't acknowledge being wrong. That's what's annoying me. They never acknowledge that they were wrong. But I'm gonna keep reminding them that they're wrong, right?
You do that, Bears.
Yeah, you listen here. Yeah, you talk. I'm talking to you, Muhammad. Yeah. In Istanbul or whatever. I don't know what other cities there are in Turkey besides Istanbul.
Just that one place.
Just that one place. All I know is that one place. It used to be called Constantinople, but it changed its name a couple years ago. Not a couple years ago, thousands of years ago.
Adelia.
a couple years ago. What am I doing? But with that note being said, Brandi, thank you so much for joining us. We
thank you for having me.
Tell people where people can find you or where people can't find you if you don't want people to find you.
You know, you can find me on this channel. I do a lot of stuff. Anybody, with the patrons, I do the Acolyte and House of Dragon. I've been doing, and with Justin, I do couples therapy. And whenever you guys need me for anything, and if I'm around, I'm here. You can find me here.
Patreon.com/LGR_network. If you want to join our Patreon post credits, it's our instant thoughts on the whatever show is going on.
Yeah, and
we do watch alongs and immediately give our thoughts afterwards. So
exactly.
And I do What on Earth Are They Wearing with Adelia and Star sometimes. Whenever we
and
get
couples therapy.
And couples therapy with Justin.
By the way, guys, we have a multitude of tiers. It goes from 1 to 15. $1 gets you in the Discord and you just converse and we just have fun. $5 gets you Adelia.
Adelia?
No, not Adelia. No, you don't get Adelia.
That's a good
$5 tiers is joining us on the watch alongs and the post credits. The $10 tier is our fantasy sports tier. You can play fantasy football along with us. $15 tier, you get to request a video. You
become a producer of the channel.
Any video of your choice. Brandi made Justin and Ferris talk about soap operas. It was quite entertaining.
That was another summer staple that I did was watch soap operas.
He compared them to porn, which threw me off. What? He called Justin in the video. Did you remember the video? He called it porn. He was like something soap operas are like porn, and I was like, what?
They're not.
Let's stop saying that word.
All right, sorry. Threw me off. But yes, join the Patreon. I'm maybe you may see me biased.
$1 a month gets you into our Discord where you can hang out with all of us and talk about all kinds of stuff. We're always in voice chat, it seems like
soap operas.
Yeah, I'm biased, but I think the $15 tier is the best tier because you basically,
you get everything.
You get everything, and you become a producer in a sense where you request videos you can join, or videos that are made just for you. Because Brandi, she requested the video of the soap operas, but she didn't join because she wanted to watch it, not join it. So there's that.
Brendan, for example, when he makes his requests, always likes to join. So
Exactly.
I may be on a part 2.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Shout out to the bold and the beautiful.
General Hospital.
I'm the beautiful. Justin's the bold.
And you both will end up in General Hospital. Keep it
And
up.
we'll end up in General Hospital next. Is Restless as
The world
because
turns.
you only have one life to live.
as we'll have one life left because we
As
only
the
go
world turns.
as the world turns because the days of our lives be counting down.
You'll be seeing a guiding light at General Hospital.
Which one was Christina Lucci on?
Susan Lucci was on
Susan
All My
Lucci.
Children. Christina
All My
Lucci.
Children. Oh, My
Susan
Children.
Lucci was on All My Children. Erica Slazak was on One Life to Live. Maurice Bernard is on General Hospital.
Okay, we
with
get it.
Luke and Laura.
You know a lot of soap operas. Got it. We got it.
Jeannie Francis on General Hospital.
I tried to watch them, but it was like 250 episodes a season.
Listen, you can just jump in. You don't have to watch it from day one. You just jump in where it's at.
This is what anime people be, man. They be watching like seasons that are like 100 episodes. And I'm like, the original anime people were soap opera people.
Jump in. Just jump.
I'm just gonna jump in. I'm just gonna. You know what? Next week, starting Monday. Wait, did it start on Sunday or Monday?
Monday through Friday. No weekend.
Right. Monday. I'm just gonna watch one. Just Monday. Just pop it.
You could start with Bold and Beautiful. That's the short one. Go right ahead.
Okay,
my
I'm
friend
just gonna
Lawrence
watch
is
that.
on that. Shout out to Lawrence St. Victor, my buddy.
Shout out to Brooke Ann Smith, who was a girl I
Used
grew
to
up
be.
with, who used to be on General Hospital.
As
Yeah.
Molly.
Anyways,
Who's that famous actress that is now famous, but she was an actress on Bold and Beautiful? What's her name? She's like
What?
the daughter.
The daughter of who?
I don't know.
Chris, let's continue this off air.
What?
Yeah, where can people find you?
You can find me on this channel Thursdays, 3 p.m. Pacific for the Rewatchers Council, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch series that we're doing. Me and Snark. Ferris used to be on the show. It remains to be seen if he will ever be on the show again.
I might make an appearance on that.
Brandy's going to be on that at some point too. Brendan makes appearances on that. It's a lot of fun. You can find me here every other week, Fridays, 8 p.m. Pacific on the Open Table with Ferris, and watching from the chat on the other weeks when Ferris is doing some cool interviews. And you can find me on the Highlights channel this upcoming Sunday night with Ferris, right after the Argentina-Colombia game, the Copa America final, where we will be recapping the Euros final from earlier in the day and the Copa America final.
All right, guys. My name is Ferris Muthana. Come on, find me. You can block me on Twitter at Ferris Muthana, or follow me on Twitter at Ferris Muthana. Whatever you prefer.
We're gonna block.
Yeah,
I thought you became Elliot Smith for a minute, Ferris.
Exactly. I kind of stole Elliot's thing, but I also add
Elliot is an Arsenal podcaster who starts
Yeah.
every podcast by saying, "You can block me on Twitter at Yankee Gunner."
Yankees Gunner. Yeah. I will never block you, Elliot. I will never block you. Or you can follow me at Ferris Muthana on Twitter. You can also follow me on Instagram at _Ferris_Muthana if you want to. I need to use Instagram a little bit more. I'm here every Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific, 8 on our sports channel, our Good Friends Better Hours, where we talk American football. This week we had our 100th episode, where we kind of just reflected and just talked about our journey to 100. Fun fact about that show: the first ever episode will never be ever heard from ever again because we did it on stereo, and so it won't ever be heard again. You can find me 8 o'clock Pacific on our entertainment channel every Friday, the Open Table, with me and Adelia. Sometimes not Adelia. Sometimes I'm interviewing someone else. So there's that, as well as just smattering of other topics of stuff. This, I don't know if we're recording it or doing it live.
What?
The Boys review. I don't know.
I don't know if you're recording it or doing it live either. Danny and I are doing the Acolyte review live on Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, but on that note, everyone, thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a wonderful time, and we'll see y'all next week. Adelia,
Drink Sprite.
hit that thing.
The drink of summer.